All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Stone. I am one of the faculty members here at Paradise Valley Community College, and I'm here with one of our students, Brenden O'Robinson,
also known as the Brenden 08.
the Brenden O8. And we're here to play some Smash Bros. And talk a little bit about Brendan's experiences as an individual with autism in the gaming community, as well as his experiences in the video game production program here at Paradise Valley Community College. So, Brendan, go ahead, jump into a match here. Set that CPU level on whatever you would like.
Set it I want to set it on 9, but like I just for a good way to start, set it to 8. I'll go with Cloud.
Yeah, getting warmed up a little bit. So when did you start playing video games, Brendan?
When I was 4 or 3 with my dad, we played Mario Karts.
That's a great
I
game.
mained Mario, he mained Wario.
Ah, okay. I always played Toad.
Oh wait, I don't have my control scheme.
Uh-oh.
How do I pause?
Oh, you didn't change. Uh-oh, it's the wrong name. That's
I'm
what
gonna
it is.
have to SD.
Yeah, or no contest.
I can't no contest. I have to pause to do that.
Oh, that's right. Pause is off for this rule set.
Yep.
This is our competitive rule set for our esports league. So yeah.
Even though it is possible to pause, you usually take a stock by that. Of course, the rules don't apply if it's the CPU, unless it's level 9 Casio.
Yeah. Whoops.
I pressed.
Oh no, you did. You got
yeah,
it. Never
I
mind.
set.
Yeah.
I set them to the legal stages.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Cloud.
So you've been playing since you were pretty young. What has your experience been like in the gaming community overall, and just in general? What is how has that been for you?
I think everybody is a nerd. I'm just gonna say that, including me. Like, and that's completely fine. Like, I absolutely love the fact that there's so many people that are into video games. I used to be like very much into the gameplay of many of my video games. Thought I was gonna be really bad at like fighting games. I'd say the time where I got really into video games was definitely high school era. So that's when I started caring about my video games. It's also when I started playing Super Smash Brothers. And, well, of course, it's also where I started getting into, literature. I got very into it, and, originally, so I started, Super Smash Bros. By naming Mario, because I liked Mario, and originally, I really did not like fighting Cloud, and I was just, like, really bad at that time, so, I didn't know why, and I was just really, like, not a fan of Cloud, but that was until I started playing him, and I really love playing as him. But then, like, I picked up Final Fantasy VII after it came out on Switch, like, and oh my god, I loved Final Fantasy VII. It's just really good.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Final Fantasy.
My favorite hero used to be Mario, but it became Cloud because of Final Fantasy VII. Same with the villains. It used to be Bowser, now it's Sephiroth. Absolutely adore Sephiroth.
Do you like to play Sephiroth in Smash as well sometimes?
He's pretty fun. He definitely requires he definitely is a very good fundamental character for teaching you how to space. I grabbed when I...
Sometimes we just blame those on misinputs.
I always forget that Cloud's grab is garbage.
So do you spend much time in online communities at all, like Discord or?
Yeah, I
like
spend
that?
a lot of time on Twitter. I do have a Twitter handle. You can find me at the Brenden 08.
Okay.
also have another Twitter handle, but that's more for other things.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me at Brenden08 on Twitter.
Okay.
You can
What's
also find me
been? I'm just curious. What's been your experience in those online communities? Has it been positive or?
It's been mostly positive until you become it's not about I haven't been bullied for my autism, unlike how it was in primary school. My experience overall, when it comes to my autism, I was more bullied for my autism in lower school or primary school, as you call it, or elementary. But my experience in school got progressively better, unlike what I know a lot of people have their experiences in, the school experience that gets progressively worse or something. I feel like it's the opposite for me. It's gotten progressively better. I hated primary school or lower school or whatever you can call it, but I loved high school. But sure, that could be an indictment of going to a private school for high school for people on the spectrum, but I just genuinely loved high school because it felt like people more knew better rather than just for the sake of being dominant or something, they would pick on the weaker people.
Right.
Autism is usually the one thing I don't like when some people say is that autism is like a mental illness or disease, which it really isn't. It's a full-on spectrum. It in some cases it could be a problem. It could be more disabling, but in other cases it's more enabling. It actually works to your benefit. I still take medicine, but I definitely would say that my autism is a gift.
Yeah, and I will share that that's one of the things that I really admire about you is you are, you're incredibly comfortable with who you are, and you do see autism in that light, and there's so much that you bring to the table. Just full disclosure to everyone on the stream, Brenden is one of my students. He's also in the video game production program here at BVCC, and the things you bring to class and the ideas and the comments that you make are really insightful and bring a lot of value to what we talk about in our game narrative class, which is the class I teach. So, speaking of the video game production program, what was it that drew you to that? Was it your love of video games from when you were a kid, or something else in addition to that?
It was more my love of video games now than it was when I was a kid. As I said, when I was much younger, I more just cared, do I love the gameplay? And if so, that's the case. Due to that and my perfectionism, I've always wanted to complete the level in its entirety rather than leaving it unfinished. But then I got into games more narrative driven, like Legend of Zelda and Final Fantasy VII. Actually, before Final Fantasy VII and trying that, I played Breath of the Wild and I really loved it. And I got into loving Legend of Zelda, and Link became it first started with Mario, then it was Link, then it was Cloud.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm driven for I love the narrative of certain video games. They're very good.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to say too, is that one of your strengths, I think, in particular, is development of characters. You really enjoy developing characters from all aspects, from writing about them, drawing them, developing the artwork, all those different aspects. So, could you talk about that a little bit, about your experiences with, narrative and stories in games?
I was very into art, like going from middle school to high school. I was always an artist, but like I got really into it in high school.
Mhm.
Like it was very much an experience I do not have any bad feelings about. I really loved making art, and I still do. It's just been hard right now because I'm not having much ideas and well, work and stuff.
Yeah.
No, actually, I have a job, but it's just that like I'm learning how to organize a schedule and stuff, and it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. How's that going? Do you find that I mean, you say it's difficult. How so?
It's difficult to like kind of remember. I have a good memory, like, and that's really good since I'm not a very fast writer by hand. I usually prefer to type things out. Even though I'm not the fastest at typing, I'm pretty fast at typing. Too. So I prefer typing over handwriting, but it's also hard to remember things in the case where I sometimes forget my schedule. It's especially been more of the case now than it was when I was a freshman in high school compared to a freshman in college.
Right.
And there are certain issues like I can't keep a good schedule. I can't remember things without people reminding me. Usually have a better time when people reminds me what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I just had. Oh, I just took that on raw with me.
Everybody went down.
I love
double now.
Yeah. I love playing in Sonora as a off topic. I love playing in Sonora as my pocket. Like,
Oh sure.
there's a reason he's my pocket. He's just really fun. Sure, he's slow, but he has. If he was any faster, he'd probably be top tier. I main Link and Cloud, but like, in Sonora is my pocket.
Okay.
He's really fun. Like he has a very easy moveset to get used to.
So you mentioned Incineroar, of course, and you mentioned Cloud. Are there any other characters in Link? Are there any other characters, Mario, anybody else that you really love in games?
I'd say Zelda is a good like. Sure, in some of the games she doesn't really do much, but she's very much better designed than Peach. Like I used to love Peach. I used to have a crush on her, but then I got more into video game narrative and Peach fell off. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because Peach is more just like the damsel in distress and just that. And she can't fight for herself, despite what Smash Bros. Would depict.
Exactly.
As with her being a top tier and doing all this stuff.
She is. And Zelda's a warrior, right? I mean, in many cases, anyway.
Yeah, she's more of a like she's more into research than fighting. In Breath of the Wild, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
She's
True.
not She doesn't want to fight all the time. She just is able to, and she's definitely one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful characters in Legend of Zelda. Despite being captured all the time, she can definitely take on Ganon. And Ganon definitely wants Zelda dead, unlike Bowser, who loves Peach. Ganon hates Zelda, absolutely hates her, and would absolutely want to kill Zelda, but he needs her in order to get his hands on that juicy Triforce.
Yep.
Same with Link. But like, once he has the Triforce, he has no use for both of them. Or for either of them. And that is kind of the indictment of, well, being the incarnation of evil. He is an incarnation of demise.
Absolutely.
And, well, Link is an incarnation of the hero, and Zelda is an incarnation of the goddess Hylia.
Right. Yep.
But like, they're not always the same character every time. It's a new incarnation of what we think is the same character. Sure, they all have the same names, except for Ganon, who sometimes goes by Ganondorf.
As he does in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, they're all different characters each time because it's a different incarnation.
Yeah.
Unlike Mario or Sonic or something, where it's still Mario.
It's always Mario. I like, the Link character is really an interesting character because of the reincarnation aspect of his story, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, speaking of incarnation, Final Fantasy VII, even though that's not really a true thing in Final Fantasy VII, and when I say Final Fantasy VII, I'm more just referring to 7 in particular. I'm not really into the rest of the Final Fantasy franchise.
Okay.
I'm more just into 7 because, well, A, it's in Super Smash Bros., and B, I think it's the best Final Fantasy.
okay.
There might be arguments for that the others are better, but like 7 definitely revolutionized gaming.
So did the first one, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to share. I mean,
Well, that's how it's got its name, Final Fantasy.
Yeah. The very first Final Fantasy was an absolute revelation in gaming, particularly due to the artwork, right? I mean, it was really, for the time, it was quite a masterful thing of art in that game. There's some really good documentaries and other websites and things like that on the origins of that game.
God, I hate fighting Pit. Pit has a good character. I just hate fighting him in Smash. Like, people who say that Pit isn't very good, and sure, I'm playing Dr. Mario, the single worst character in the game, even though people would argue, no, that's Little Nash, no, that's Ganondorf. No, it's Dr. Mario. And I'm not backing down from that argument. He's literally slower. He's slower Mario and stubbier Ganondorf. He loses
Without the heavy.
Yeah. He's not only as bad as Ganondorf, but he's lighter, so
Yeah,
he might as well
exactly.
be the single worst character in the game. Also, he's a bad recovery. I want Dr. Mario to be good because I like the outfit and stuff. Even
Yeah.
though
It's cool.
Dr. It is confirmed Mario is not a real doctor. He never went to medical school.
No, he just throws pills at people.
Yeah. And they work,
And they work.
according to Dr. Mario 64.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, I really hate playing against Pits. He's just really not fun to fight against. But yeah, anything else?
Let's see. I think that is almost all. I do want to ask one more little question. So, what are your, just as kind of a final thought here, what are your, like, hopes and goals and dreams as far as games and game development goes?
I plan on making a game that's also somewhat of a movie or TV show called Mother Story, focusing on one of my original characters named Nina. And I'll get more into that some other time, but like, it's definitely a game that I want to come up with, and luckily with the help of the friends in our class, the Tiger Toast Republic, like as I call them, I can actually probably get that vision eventually. Like, it seemed like fantasy or something, and I wanted to do technology or something, and another thing, or IT. But like, I might actually be able to make a video game.
Yeah, that's the whole goal. Well, Brenden, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today and talking about your experiences, and both in the game production, as a gamer with autism, and just as an individual who, I'll say is really open and sharing, and you're just a great example for everybody, man. thank you for participating in this.
As I said, I am an autistic extroverted dork who likes to put scribbles on the internet.
There you go. All right. Thanks so much, Brenden.